On a cold Shabbat Eve in March 2011, two Palestinian terrorists penetrated a house in the Israeli town of Itamar. Armed with knives and firearms, the two brutally slaughtered 5 members of the Fogel family, 2 parents in their bed, 2 boys aged 11 and 4, and a newborn baby, Hadass, just 3 months old. The victim's crime? Being Jewish. This murder sent shockwaves around the Israeli society and appalled any compassionate human being. But as far as the Palestinian Authority was concerned, the two perpetrators are not terrorists, but national heroes, and much more importantly, about to become extremely wealthy heroes. You heard that correctly. The Palestinian Authority, widely considered to be a moderate government whose leaders wear European suits and ties, maintains as their top priority a well-budgeted terror machine, the pay-for-slay infrastructure, providing stipends to terrorists. The PA has institutionalized terrorism and anchored it in law. Any terrorist is entitled to a generous paycheck of up to $3,700 a month from the moment they enter jail and for the rest of their lives. That means that thanks to the PA, terrorists out-earn teachers, engineers, even judges by a large margin. In fact, the two terrorists who slaughtered the Fogel family will receive around $2 million over the course of their lives. It effectively offers a bounty on Israelis' heads. Released terrorists are routinely absorbed into the PA's infrastructure as state employees to launder and normalize the terror funding. You simply can't make this up. This is the most blatant official anti-Semitic policy since World War II. Instead of promoting peace, the Palestinian Authority funds terrorism. Big time. This also makes the PA one of the world's largest terror financiers. It allocates 7% of its budget, or around $380 million a year, for stipends to terrorists, 80 times more per capita than its entire national health budget. Indeed, instead of constructing new hospitals or helping families in need, the PA prioritizes murder of Jews. Is that really a peace partner? Given its track record, we've become disillusioned with this notion. Instead, the PA must be regarded as a terror organization that inflames the conflict, a strategic threat on Israel's security. Terrorism is an ingrained part of its DNA and of its budget. And so, while Palestinians suffer from neglect and unemployment, senior PA officials drive luxury cars and live in fancy mansions. The PA does not invest in its own people where they most need investment, and instead blackmails and guilts the international community into funding them. The Palestinian Authority is undermining the future of Palestinian children while destroying the future of Israeli children. It embezzles from both. This is a deadly cocktail of corruption mixed with radical Islamic terrorism. The PA has made terrorism its business model, and as such, we simply cannot continue with business as usual. The good news is that we have a choice. As taxpayers, you should know that money that goes to the PA directly funds terrorism. Demand transparency from your governments, declare the PA as a terrorist organization, freeze its assets, enforce existing anti-terrorism laws against it, including the Taylor Force Act, and make clear to the PA that they may be exposed to significant liability if this multi-billion-dollar terror machine is not stopped right away. Don't fall for the PA's predictable threat that it is on the verge of imminent economic collapse. If you spend hundreds of millions on bankrolling terrorists and corruption on one hand, you cannot hold out your other hand and expect to be bailed out when you go broke. So as John Keynes put it, when the facts change, I alter my conclusion. We've tried working with the PA, and this experiment has failed. So let's take the initiative and consider innovative alternatives that are now on the table. Let's stop counting victims like the Fogel family and hold the PA accountable for its record. And don't let anyone fool you. Israel's security relies on the IDF and its security forces, not on Ramallah's terror authority. We can no longer afford the status quo. The terror authority must be stopped.